Cooking with Steve.
Hello, and welcome to another edition of Cooking with Steve. This is going to be our breakfast down on the farm, rustic outdoor adventure special. Follow me in. We're going to make some biscuits and gravy this morning, and I will show you what we're going to include in that meal. Into the farmhouse we go. Today's ingredients for breakfast, we've got a roll of Bob Evans maple pork sausage, a couple tablespoons of butter, about a quarter cup of flour that I pre-packaged yesterday before we came down, black pepper, kosher salt, some little bit of Swampy's Cajun seasoning, and a roll of jumbo butter flavored biscuits. These are not the flaky kind. The reason we're using these, obviously we could make our own biscuits if we wanted, but we're living rustically today, so I figured let's make it a little bit easy. Come on back, I'm gonna get set up here. Come on back and we'll get started. See you then. Hello and welcome back to the Outdoor Wilderness Breakfast Adventure edition of Cooking with Steve. Where we are right now, I've got our biscuits on the sheet pan. This is a recipe that has been passed down to me from the old days in England. I have a little bit of English in my heritage, and this is a recipe that comes from those days, directly from the king and queen of the 12th century. It's been passed down my bloodline for that many years. What we've also got going on is I've emptied the sausage out into the pan here, which we're going to start browning off. I got the oven preheating at 375 for our biscuits. Once this is about done cooking off, is when we're going to put the biscuits in. It really only takes about 10 minutes to make the gravy, so that's pretty much it. Come back to you when this is done browning and we'll go from there. Hello and welcome back to the Outdoor Adventure Rustic in Kentucky Country Home edition of Cooking with Steve. As you can see, our sausage is pretty much all brown. We're going to leave it, we want to make it pretty chunky because I like a good chunky sausage gravy. What we're going to do now, pop our biscuits into the oven and preheat at 375. They're going to be in there for roughly 12 minutes. So I got to come back to them at 10:26. Next thing what we're going to do is we're going to throw our couple tablespoons of butter directly on our sausage and let that melt. And then we're going to put our flour on here after that melts. What we're essentially doing is just making a little bit of a roux for our sausage. Kind of thicken it up. So I'll show you what we're going to do there. As you may notice, this is a very old type of recipe. I mentioned earlier that I have some English in my heritage. A few rungs up my lineage was the king and queen of England. They were especially fond of biscuits and gravy, and it runs in our bloodline, so everybody in my family really likes it. That's why I've chosen to prepare it for our day at the farm. Unfortunately, as I mentioned yesterday, we might have a special guest, but it doesn't look like he was able to make it today. He may be here later. If he is, I'll try to get a little video and I'll splice it in here. But here's what we're doing with our flour. Don't need to use too much, we just need to thicken it up. We're going to move that around so it soaks up all that fat and all that butter. And once it does that, we're going to add some whole milk. I have made this before with skim milk or 2%. It works pretty much the same. It's not quite as rich, but since we're on holiday out here at the farm, I chose, let's go ahead and make the whole milk. So as you can see that does a pretty good job of soaking up all the flour. You can probably use just a little bit more because it's still pretty wet in there. There we go. That's what we're looking for here. That is what we are looking for here. So, Alex, would you hand me that milk over there?
Which one?
The milk.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. What we're going to do now is we're going to try to do about 3 to 4 cups of milk on here. There we go. And we're going to season it up. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, and just a little bit of Swampy's Cajun seasoning. This just adds a little bite to it. That's it. We're just a little bit. What we're going to do now is we're going to mix this all together, and we're going to let it sit on this burner for probably 8 to 10 minutes while it thickens up. We're going to stir it pretty frequently during that time. What we'll do now is we'll come back to you when things start progressing, and I will see you then.
Next time you go hunting,
Pick up some Code Red doe urine. It's the best deer piss around.
And welcome back. As you can see, our gravy is just about done, and it is looking damn good. I have pulled our biscuits out of the oven, a nice golden brown. I'm going to show you how we're going to plate this real quick. So we're going to take a biscuit off that sheet pan there, like that. Take another one like that. Take another one like that. Another one like that. Ow. Ow. Another one like that. Another one like that. Ow, ow, ow. These are a little hot. A little bit warm. Okay, just stop your wanting to come off right now.
Lord.
There we go. And take a step back here, Alex. This is some hot stuff.
Oh,
We're
yeah.
gonna put our gravy on them.
Whoa, that's how you make gravy?
And this is looking damn good. We're going to take a break now. As you can see, we are just about done with our biscuits and gravy. We'll come back to you for tasting time on Cooking with Steve. See you then. Hello. Hello, and welcome back to Cooking with Steve. This is the Down Home Rustic on the Farm Outdoor Adventure edition today. We just finished up our biscuits and gravy, and now it is tasting time. Ava, what do you think?
This dish is awesome. Absolutely delicious.
Good to hear. Alex, what are your thoughts?
I will take one bite. It's so good.
Good. And Mackenzie, what are your thoughts?
It's absolutely divine.
Good to hear. All right. Thank you for joining us today for our outdoor wilderness adventure on the farm breakfast special edition of Cooking with Steve. Please share this with all your friends and subscribe to the page. Leave a few comments. I'm happy to answer any questions. And I will see you next time when we are back up in suburban America for the next edition of Cooking with Steve. See you then.
Cooking with Steve.